This is your host, Dark One Dre, introducing Chaos Mana, Wubwave.
I'm Mr. Fusion. That over there is Chaos Mana.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFT Podcast. With me tonight is Lo Zelda.
Hey!
Ray!
Yay!
Chaos Mana!
Haze.
Nightsaw!
Toast.
And
Wonderful.
not Dark One Dre.
Boo.
The ghost of Dark
I mean-
One Dre.
His face is staring at us from the Skype call, and it's really freaking me out.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Chilling. How are you?
Doing the exact same type of conversation we had right before we started recording this call.
Oh yeah.
So,
Did you do anything fun tonight?
me and Holly went out for some bevs. before the
Bevs?
podcast.
What are you,
You
British
got
now?
totally
What is this?
wasted. You don't even know where you left
Got a-
her now.
Got a little bevved up. Now I'm talking like Gavin. I start talking like Gavin when I drink more. And so I got this awesome brisket sandwich at this bar right around the corner, and it was awesome, amazing sandwich. And apparently you can get beers to go. I didn't know this. So I
Oh,
was like,
dude.
oh, sweet! I'm gonna get some beers to go. So I order I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of Yingling, the beer? It's kind of local to where we are, but
Sounds familiar.
okay. So I asked for that, expecting normal tiny cans, and they hand me a plastic bag with just a 6-pack of these ginormous pounder beers, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot more than I anticipated. So that's it. I carried home this really awkward bag of beers after I paid for my bill, and I'm like, hi everybody, I'm not a complete alcoholic, but that's what I'm drinking now. So
Awesome.
I told you it wasn't an interesting story.
It was an
I made it
interesting
more
story.
interesting by being belligerent.
Extra beer that you don't expect is way better than not beer.
It's like getting an extra beer. It really is.
yeah. It really. I mean,
We have this one place, this bottle shop right around the corner, and apparently every bottle there is $4 or $5. It's per
dang.
beer. It's really obnoxious. So if I try to buy a case, it can be really crazy expensive. And it's funny when I can go right down the street to the supermarket and buy the same case for half.
yeah.
It's really obnoxious, but it's that novel appeal of just being in a bottle shop where you can find those really exotic beers and stuff like that. So the selection is bigger when I go to the bottle shop, but if I go to the supermarket, it's 3 types of beer, but half the cost. So it's sometimes I'm am I feeling cool and ritzy and saucy? Do I want to get the really fancy beer, or do I just feel like getting hammered?
It's an important question to
most-
ask yourself at the beginning of the night,
Most of the time,
or in
it's
the middle of the
getting
afternoon, depending on what your day looks like.
hammered. Pretty much.
Although I think at that point
If
you
I'm at
know
work,
what the answer
it's-
is.
If I'm at work, it's just about getting drunk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, on second thought, at that point, you don't have to ask the question.
So you sent out a Vine the other day. I'm on Vine now. It's stupid.
Hey, hey.
Of you guys having a dance party at your work.
so yeah,
I've not seen this. I need to find it.
yeah, you need to go find that. So my work group is only 15 people, but my division is just shy of 60. And once a year, the division gets together and does just some luncheon thing, and usually a potluck kind of thing. And right before Thanksgiving, the engineering group did a thing where they reserved the auditorium that's supposed to be for fancy pants meetings. And they brought in 2 extra TVs, and they hooked up a Wii, an Xbox One, and a PS4, and they played Smash Brothers and Call of Duty and Forza and all this stuff. And they just did that for 3 hours. It was just insane and awesome.
Engineers like to get sauce.
I know, right?
They are crazy.
So I made a comment about that. I was like, oh, that was such a cool thing for them to do. And my boss is also a gaming kind of person, or my boss at the time was. And she was like, oh, that is a great idea. We should totally do that. Well, apparently she held on to that nugget till now. And they put this together where we got the big old training room, and my group did a potluck, and they're like, bring games in. But, none of my group is really gamer people. So it was people brought in, Uno and Jenga and Dominoes and Apples to Apples, and then the one girl brought in her Wii and Just Dance, and was, making people do the Just Dance thing. And I'm watching these people, because they're all
Not gamers at all.
not gamers and
Not fit.
rhythmically challenged,
Oh,
to say
dear.
the least. So I'm like half pissing myself in the corner, laughing at what is occurring here. And then I was like, I have to share some of this. Like, this is what my afternoon at work looks like. Is I'm sitting in the training room at this big, like $1 billion company, and they're playing Just Dance terribly.
We got a Wii a couple Christmases ago at our company, and it was just like, that was the big gift for the company. And they got us a Wii, and like they hooked it up for one day, and then it just sat there literally for like 2 years straight before somebody plugged it in again. It's like crazy, and all they bought, of course, was like the regular like Mii sports game.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The game that came with it.
But that whole console was just based off that novelty with the, and I'm so happy that they're steering away from that a little bit more with the Wii U. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still gimmicky, but they're doing a lot more games. They're putting a lot more focus on just like, especially like games not focused on motion.
Yeah.
I was playing, we were streaming Toad yesterday, and it was really difficult this is my first ever Twitch stream, and I picked a game that is based mostly off the gamepad. So I'm like sitting on the floor in my room, in our living room. The TV's right in front of me, and then I have the computer and the microphone set up. And I'm trying to watch the TV, but then it's like it's giving me directions to do things with the Wii U pad. So I'm like, fuck. So I have to look down at the Wii U pad. I'm now facing away from the microphone. And that's when I got really quiet yesterday, because I'm looking down at the gamepad and like doing all these trick things. Like you have to spin the gamepad or like spin a wheel or something like that. Game was incredibly fun. It was totally not appropriate for like streaming, because I couldn't concentrate on 3 things at once, like the big TV, the computer, and the gamepad. So I think I picked a bad game to start with, but great game to play. You should all get it.
You know where you went wrong?
What's that?
Is I told you to play Pikmin, and you ignored me.
I should have played Pikmin.
Pikmin is amazing.
I should have played Pikmin.
Life lesson. This is a lesson a lot of people learned yesterday.
Just play
Always
Pikmin.
listen to Zelda. Zelda knows what the fuck she's talking about, okay?
I mean, no, she's always there to guide Link through the adventure. I mean, she gets captured a lot, but she always has sound advice. She has the Triforce of Wisdom, so she's always wise. So it just makes sense to always listen to Zelda. Don't follow her example of getting captured all the time.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do, all right?
Yeah, exactly, so...
What TJ was saying
but
before,
I mean,
I just imagine TJ in the middle of his living room with his head down. That just brings a sad picture to my.
Aww.
Aw, I'm not that sad.
There's this
TJ,
tiny sad
TJ,
violin
don't go into
playing.
depression yet.
How you explained
It was funny.
You were sitting in your living room with your head down with a camera pointed at you.
Well, no, there was no camera
yeah,
point. I
microphone.
won't do that. I won't do like the camera on your face stream. Like, I'll only record my voice. I don't like that, like the camera facing me like while I'm streaming. I think I'm just not into
Yeah,
it.
it's just personal preference.
Yeah, and it's funny. I looked up like kind of like twitching tips today, and like that was one of the the steps. Like, you should put yourself in camera and stuff like that, and like look at let people see your reactions. I'm like, fuck no, tip bad tip. It also, and if you guys, some of you were watching, but in the middle I had to pause because a Jehovah's Witness came at my door.
Oh, that's
So
what
I was like,
happened?
hold on.
That's an
Yeah,
exciting
Jehovah's
stream.
Witness came in and like I couldn't get rid of him. I'm poking my head around the door because like it's either somebody knocking around for money or Jehovah or a homeless person asking for money or somebody, and they were like the sweetest person. They were so nice, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain to them. Like, I'm Twitch streaming right now. I don't really have time.
Well,
to listen
not
to
that,
people.
but also
leave your pamphlet.
I'm good. I just don't, busy.
Usually, I indulge them for probably a little too long, but then I like close the door and get rid of them. But yeah, like that was like fun, and like I'm getting back to the stream, and I'm like, I'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast. But I feel like I've been talking too much. What's
You
up,
wanted
guys?
to fight me, apparently. That's the reason I'm here.
No, well, okay, so somebody gave you hold of
No.
the Twitter and the Vine.
It's only because that's how we log in through Vine, is with Twitter. I didn't even know that was the stuff that Zach told me. And
You've already messed with the avatar.
That's what that cat
No.
in the picture is. I was
You're
wondering
because-
about
you're
that.
I think we are on the brink of driving Lucas.
I know.
insane.
See,
chains.
they were like, hey, take down
And
the hat. And I was like,
it's
no,
a
that's
meme.
his territory. But then I was like, it'd be funny if I put Bear in there. Because I have the original avatar. I'm like, I'll just put Bear and see what Tejan says. But see, I didn't
Oh,
touch
I
the
love it.
hat. It's your hat. I'm not gonna touch it.
As long as the hat.
I might put a hat on Bear too. Let's see what Lucas does.
We have to wait. We have to wait till Christmas. I think if it's us who causes Lucas to like literally go insane, I'm okay with that. Like I can take pride in that.
You
Just wondering
take
when
pride
you
in
show up
fall
with
of Lucas?
Can we
Fall
write
Lucas.
Lucas along the hat's like top?
If at any point we can say "Rip Lucas" and mean it,
Oh,
Dear God.
he's our only Welsh friend.
Oh no,
Just kidding.
Dejan.
I'm just kidding. Lucas is hilarious. Actually, his Vine's really funny. Have you guys subscribed to his
yeah.
Vine?
I didn't see
know
today's.
he was doing. Like only recently, I've heard that he was doing it regularly.
I don't.
It's actually he's doing.
Yeah,
some
it
good
was
stuff.
fucking,
I
like,
think he's
legit
actually
funny.
really Yeah, especially the God, what was it? He read a sign, but he read like the not penisy sounding part of the sign, and that's what he was giggling at. Do you remember that one?
I don't think I went through
I
all
forget
of
what it
his. I
was.
just saw a few. I didn't want to like be creepy and go through everything he's ever done.
That's what you're supposed
I
to do on
know.
social media, though. Like when you find a new friend, you have to go back and learn everything about them, see
You
all
gotta
their
pretend
creepy
you didn't
posts.
stalk them and everything, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, don't reference something they did 3 months ago on a podcast.
Well,
and call them
Tejan,
out.
how was that? What wasn't it? Root canal, or whatever.
What?
Your first journal. We went back and posted.
My
on
first.
it.
Oh no, Luke just sent me a chat. It was penis a deer, and he's like, he reads the sign, and he just starts giggling, and then it cuts to him walking away, going, "A deer." It was pretty funny. So, but my first ever RT journal was me posting about me getting my wisdom teeth out, and I was like, "Okay, guys, I don't have any friends yet, but if I start going through the forums and just start posting nonsense because I'm high on drugs, stop me, or don't indulge me." I don't know.
And where you stopped?
Say it again.
And where you stopped?
No, actually, I didn't post. I went to sleep. I slept for 3 days.
Dear gosh.
It was good. It's good sleep. And I read the Hunger Games. So
In your sleep.
okay,
I
book.
imagine reading the Hunger Games while you're like high on drugs has got to be one hell of an experience.
It really wasn't. Like I that's the thing about the Hunger Games books. I really liked the first 2 books. I loved the second book. That was my favorite book. Third book wasn't that good. And I think I was reading the third book at the time, and I just was so unimpressed by the book that I think it kind of mellowed me out actually,
Wow.
and caused the nap.
It was so bad it did
It just
all
was.
the other
It was
stuff.
it was unsatisfying. I haven't seen the third movie yet, and third and fourth, but I'm hoping it's more exciting.
I in high school we read the Hunger Games, the first one, and I really liked the book. And then we watched the movie.
As required reading,
Well, no, not for required reading. We just did it in class. We read half of it,
Okay.
and then the other half we watched the movie. I wish we had finished the book.
wait, okay, what kind of class was this where it's not required reading, but you read it and watched the movie?
It was just for a fun project. We were learning. It was English class. We were learning about dystopian genre.
So they told you to. So it wasn't required reading, but they told you to just read whatever dystopian book that you wanted.
Well, I guess technically it was required because we had to read it in class. Pretty much, we all
Do
read.
we need to
plot-
review the definition of required right now with
Yeah.
you?
If they told
Well,
you
when
to
I-
read it and write a report about it, it was required.
Well, we didn't have.
Well,
to
he
read
didn't
it. We just
need to
read it.
do it. He could have just chose not to.
We read it and had a discussion. Pretty much, that was it.
That's the biggest regret I have with English class is that I wasted so much fucking time in high school, like not doing the assignments. When I really feel like I was a bad student at the time. Like I really look at myself now. I'm like, I wish I read all those fucking books because they sound awesome. I don't know why I wasn't enthused back then.
Yeah, I really
I'm-
I really liked reading Of Mice and Men in high school. I liked that book.
I'm totally
I
okay
actually
with
didn't like that book that much.
I'm totally okay with the fact that I totally didn't actually read most of the books. And the reason I stopped like caring, first I was like, yeah, give me an assignment, I will do it. Okay, everything's great, whatever. I moved around so much that I got to perfectly highlight the fact that there was nothing consistent about the educational system across the U.S. It's
that's true.
so what would happen is every time is I would be at school A, and we'll have just finished reading like what we have just finished doing our English section on Julius Caesar, okay? We just did that whole thing. It's great. I moved. Because I always moved in the middle of the school year because my life was just like that. I get to the new school, they have just finished something I have never done before, and they're just starting Julius Caesar. So there's a bunch of stuff I never read, and the things I did read, I had to do, like, anywhere between 2 and 5 times.
Nice.
And so when I did my last move to what ended up being my final high school, something that was 8th grade in one state and was 9th grade in another state, it's 10th grade here. And they're like, we're going to start reading this. And I go, no, I'm not doing it again. The teacher's like, what do you mean? I'm like, here's the deal. I'm like, you can give me something else to read that is related to this topic. I was like, I guarantee you, if you give me the test for this book right now, I will, at the very least, get an A on it, if not 100%, depending on how picky you like your answers. And she was like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm dead serious. I'm like, I will even stay after school. I will stay after school and take the test today. Do you have it? She goes, yeah. I'm like, do you want me to take it? She goes, no, you're being pretty adamant, and I kind of believe you. So sure enough, she gave me. She was really great. She gave me something else that I could read, which was fantastic.
Awesome. She actually accommodated that too. She wasn't just like, oh, whatever, we'll just
they're forcing you down.
She actually cared. So there was something else that she liked that was from because it was the Holocaust section. We always talked about the Holocaust in an English class, which I always thought was kind of weird. But and so everyone always wanted you to read Night by Elie Wiesel. That was the book that everyone wanted to read. That I had read it 4 times at that point, and I was like, I'm done. I'm like, it's not even that long of a book to read. So I was like, I'm not going to pretend to read it for a 5th time. This is going to be a waste of time. So there was something else that was very related. And so anytime they were doing that in class, I would go into the hall and I would read this other book. And we got to the end of the school year, and it's final exam time, and she gives us the final exam, and of course there's a section on Night in there. And I'm like, whatever. She said she was going to give me a different test for, like, that had, like, stuff about my book. For the final exam, and she didn't. I'm like, whatever, not a big deal. So I answered all the questions, I go turn it in, and I go to hand it to her, and she goes, oh my god, I forgot to give you the other test. She goes, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I told you. Like, it's totally fine. I
read this book.
Yeah, it's like, I missed one question, and it was one of those ones where it's like, I'm not entirely sure what you're asking with this question. It could be this one, or it could be this choice. And, like, so I picked the one that went with the interpretation I thought it was, and it wasn't. That was it. That was the only question I missed. And I got an email from her after, like, grading happened, and she goes, you were not kidding. She goes, I felt really bad that I made you, like, take a test on something you hadn't read. She goes, but yeah, you totally read it, like, multiple times. So, I really appreciate the fact that she didn't, like, force it on me again. She actually, like, gave a crap. So, that was impressive. But I was like, yeah. I've never read Romeo and Juliet, but I've read Julius Caesar 3 times.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So if they give you a test on it right now, would you be able to do it again?
Probably not, because I didn't actually like Romeo and Juliet, so I didn't retain a lot of it.
It's such a bad book.
Yeah, like, I don't know
how that's the most popular, when The Merchant of Venice is a much better fucking story.
Yeah.
Anybody else read that one?
No,
Probably.
Oh.
I got nothing.
I liked that one.
I probably would have if I hadn't moved around so fucking much, but...
Let's talk about Shakespeare. Shakespearean acting.
I really like it when they make Shakespeare movies modern. Have you ever seen the modern version of Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, yeah.
There's been many, and some of them not specifically called Romeo and Juliet.
The ones
it's
where
just
they're like
basically stealing the story.
The one where they're like shooting
Leonardo
guns
DiCaprio
in,
one.
like, California. Is that he was
I think
in that?
so.
What?
It was a modern version, and instead of swords, they had guns.
Nice.
But they still talked in, like, Shakespearean speak.
They had, like,
so
cars, and it was
they're
weird.
talking this... Yeah, it was kind of funny, honestly.
I kind of want to see
I think
that
Juliet took
just because
drugs.
I would like the...
Didn't she take, like, LSD or, like, ecstasy?
Something like that.
It's a metaphor for what she was feeling.
It was weird.
At the
No,
time.
everyone needs to see that movie, actually. It's so weird.
That's a movie they don't need to see.
It's funny.
So what was everybody's kind of favorite class in high school?
Favorite class is different than the class I did best in.
Favorite subject, maybe?
I would have to go with... For mine,
easier?
it would have to be... It's kind of a combination, because any class that I was able to do anything related to programming was inevitably my favorite, but the most consistent favorite class I had was math, because that was the class I did the best in.
Yeah, math, because it was easy as fuck.
I would disagree with you.
The funny thing that happened to me with math, and it's just like how Zelda said, how different education systems are. In the math class that I was at, and this is to a minor degree, but the math classes that I was at, it was just about to approach pre-algebra level math. not doing any of the functions yet, but that was basically the next step. I move to schools in the middle of the school year, and they're doing the multiplication tables.
Oh, fuck
Wait,
that.
what? Jesus.
It was like that bad. Like I was
drastic
already doing like about to get to the higher level math almost. It felt
Yeah,
like
the only switch I switched between grade schools from grade 6 to grade 7, and it was like a better school. Like it literally the same kind of school. I went to 2 Catholic schools, and it was just like, wow. Like I feel like I like even at like 12 years old, I'm like they care like a shit ton more here. So this is kind of awesome.
though
I think my favorite was, well, my easy one was math. Well, except for geometry. Geometry I failed at.
I hated
Normal math
fucking
I can do.
geometry.
I did terrible at algebra 2. I did really good at geometry. I don't understand how well I did in geometry, but
I sucked
I did
geometry
good.
all
I
semester
did
two.
good.
I did well. Sorry.
But my favorite was actually my last year at high school. I got to be in a current events class, so our task was literally read the newspaper, and then we had a discussion about it, and then a small test. Every
That
day.
had to be the easiest class for the teacher. Can you
Holy
imagine?
crap.
They don't have to plan anything. Shit happens in the world. You guys got to talk about it. Piece of cake.
I had a homeroom test every Friday.
What does that even mean?
It was basically like a 10-question test at the end of on every Friday, just talking about the news. like we had to watch the news.
How
every
did they
morning,
put
which is
that
like,
into
you know,
a grade? What are they? Is that like a They did it count as a separate class?
Yeah, homeroom. Like we literally had a homeroom time period. And
Oh,
would
we
get
had a
grade
time
on it.
period too,
Like,
but
it was based off like being there on
Oh,
time
wow.
and like and stuff like that. Like you would get like a P or an F, but like you would get this 10-question test. I really don't know where the points went to because I would get like a lot of 9s and 10s. I'm like, am I getting stars? Where's my points? Like, am I getting like achievements? Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm doing really well in these. I'm doing shitty in math. Like, this matters to me. Is this going to my math grade?
though,
It's like, can I just put these points somewhere? Like, can I allocate them?
Yes,
I
exactly.
think I said this before, but I'll say it real quickly. The actual favorite class I had was actually my biology class because of the way the teacher taught it. She explained all the subjects in a really good
That
way,
makes all the difference.
and then in the middle of it would just tangent as badly as we tangent on this podcast. And she would then be talking about a current event or whatever, and then get right back on topic. And the whole lesson was done to completion, and then we did the test. Is easy. You could redo any assignment to get 100, and redo any quiz to have that grade evened out, averaged with your previous quiz grade. So it was really easy to get a good grade, and just basically pay attention. And she made you want to listen to the material that she had, instead of just kind of forcing it in.
I think my favorite was science. I didn't always do the best at it. I loved chemistry. I did really well at
Chemistry
chemistry.
is the best.
I just really enjoyed learning it. But I had no, at the time in high school, I had no like idea to go into that, like as like a career or anything like that. So I pursued a lot of art. I always enjoyed my art classes, mostly because all my friends took those classes. I did okay in them, and I really liked the teacher. And so those were my two best. It was art and science, which is always funny because they group that in college, two arts and sciences.
Yep.
So, and like I would try in other classes, but I would just have such a hard time like paying attention, especially in history and stuff like that. I love like if it would like some things like I had a hard time learning American history. I just could not get into it. But there was a period my sophomore year where we just talked about fucking like Prussia and Germany and France and like that whole like historical period in like the 1800s, and I just got way into it and I loved it. And it was just like certain little like points like that. Like I would just get really into something and then like we would switch to something else, like World War One. I'm like, I'm not really interested in learning about World War One for some reason. Like it's just. And the teachers would notice that. They were like, you seemed really interested here, and you lost interest here. And then, like, and it was just, like, weird segments. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
I was not a fan of history, and I did well in everything in high school because I was just like, if I just do well, then I get to leave
Nerd.
and just go do what I want later. But it was like, I'm not a memorization person, so I was terrible at biology, I was terrible at history, because it was just like, I'm like, I can't memorize. But that's why chemistry worked, because chemistry is a process. Everything from chemistry 1 up through chemistry 3 is all exactly the same. It's all algebra story problems. That's it. That's all chemistry
But you know what?
is.
But there's like a physical aspect to it. Like there's like an actual identifiable thing to chemistry.
Right.
When math, it's just like integers and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's imaginary.
So like
It's all
chemistry is like a better
conceptual.
form of algebra, because it's like, this is actually like a tangible thing that you get something out of. And like,
and it matters.
any class that starts, you go to the first day of class, and the teacher's like, here's the syllabus, I want to show you something. And you go into another room, and they turn the lights off, and they take one of those giant, like, 5-gallon things of water, and they fill it with fire. You're like, this class is fucking awesome. Like,
awesome. Yeah.
I have to be
I do
here.
like the science
when you
teachers
have a
that
class
like to
that
just play
established
with
that has like a lab period.
everything.
We would go into the lab every once in a while. We didn't have an established lab period. It wasn't until, college where
We
I
had
that.
lab once a week
That would be awesome.
where we would dissect the frogs or blow the shit up or light the rockets, and that was awesome. I mean, that's why science was so fucking
We
exciting.
made
in
ice
high
cream
school.
in chemistry. That was fun.
What?
We made dry ice.
We did make
we
ice
get ice
cream
cream?
during my elementary chemistry, science rather classes, but that was about it.
My teacher was fucking awesome.
In my elementary science, we looked at an onion skin under a microscope,
That's pretty
I
fucking
think
cool.
we did
actually.
this.
and then we got to eat the onion skin.
We did the
afterwards.
celery in the
do you
colored
choose
water
what?
thing.
Yeah, we did that.
Celery and
It
water,
soaks
what?
up the color. It's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
I'm sad I didn't actually get to do many experiments. Like every single class, like even though I probably wouldn't have been too good at it, but they didn't. None of the class schools that I had did any like dissections or any big experiments. One class, which was my physics class, was literally watching Bill Nye and Bill Nye similar videos for at least 25% of the classes.
That sounds like my Latin class, but that was more like 50% of the class was rewatching the same documentaries and doing whatever the fuck we wanted. Also, arts and
Nice.
crafts, which
I
is
think-
just here's paper and pencils, pretend you're doing something related to Latin.
For my art class, it was amazing because it was that the art teacher would say, "Here's a project you should kind of be doing. I'm just gonna play Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark as you do art," and that's
sounds amazing.
that's what the entire art class was.
Doesn't seem constructive in any way.
No.
But it sounds
It
amazing.
was. It was a nice, relaxing like break from the rest of my classes.
I actually
So I had fun with it.
miss Latin. I don't remember much about it, but I just remembered I was really good. I was really
Because
good at
it's useless.
translating, though. Like, I would finish that really fucking fast. But
I hated
I wish
I-
I'd taken
that was
Spanish.
awful.
that was by far my
Yes.
worst subject. Like I just could not grasp it. It's so easy too. It's like easy to learn a language. But I just-
Maybe not learning a language,
wouldn't
but
do it.
easier to learn the Spanish 1 equivalent of the language.
it's easy to learn written language over like speaking and understanding it.
High
But like it
school-
was so focused on. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I would say high school language classes are bullshit though. Like,
Yeah.
if you take a language class in high school and then you take one in college, they're just so vastly different. Like, I tried desperately to learn French. We had to take foreign languages in my house in my hospital. Why did I say that? In my high school.
So you spent your early days in a psych ward.
Oh my
That's
God.
You've given up your secret. You've let it slip.
I've given it up. Yeah.
So
but like,
Lozelda reporting live from the mental hospital. She's in a straitjacket right
You
now.
would
Low
listen to
Link has
that podcast,
actually
you know
been
you would.
her doctor as
A
well.
doctor this entire time.
Yeah. The only French I ever learned was from Dexter's Laboratory.
omelette du
Omelette du fromage.
Yes.
Exactly. I just have that saved on my phone as a note just to put in random chats.
It's a good segue.
But
Speaking of segues, do you guys know what day it is?
March 32nd.
March 32nd is
That's
correct.
actually probably my favorite answer.
I really want to like somehow like get a Kickstarter or
Indiana
a
Go-Go.
or something like that where we can really take this day back. I think we can take it back. We can change it to March 32nd. Or go back and give February 29th and just lose April 1st.
No,
That's and if the United States does that, we troll the entire world
that would be so
and we
great.
win.
That would be great. I fucking hate April Fool's
Aw.
Day because it renders everything useless.
Yeah.
The entire internet is now useless. You can't believe anything. You can't even use anything appropriately. It's like, everyone's like, haha, it's funny. It's like, no, this is pain in my ass. Shut up. Like, function the way you're supposed
You
to.
can't trust
only-
any big announcements from anybody, big or small.
Even small ones. Like,
I love the people who still try to like struggle through it. It's like this isn't a lie. This isn't a prank. We're really like launching this or doing
Yeah.
this and like or
Well,
this is a great news
doesn't
post.
Rooster
It's like,
Teeth
it's not
do
a
that
lie.
though? Like they've actually said serious stuff on their anniversary.
Yeah, but at this point it's like we know, we trust them,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But
they're established, and it's like, okay, like, they've made it very clear that they don't do jokes like that. Although I will say the
shots.
short they put out earlier
Yeah.
was fucking
dude, is
hilarious.
that
app
real?
is-
Technically,
Yeah, it's real.
yes, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I tried to download it on my
It's
phone,
like-
and it just came with an error upon downloading.
No,
I was
I
sad.
have it, but you can't do anything with it.
What does it do?
Nothing. Well, if it does, you didn't see the
Well,
short.
'cause it's
It's
just
supposed
like
to
a
help
screen.
you with your dick pics and enhance them. Watch the short later; it's amazing.
Well,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you need a dick pic?
no, I just
for?
wanted to have it because Rooster Teeth had it.
I'm getting this
okay.
right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Meg Turney had it.
I'm trying to look for it, and I'm just getting a bunch of golf apps.
Same
Shot
thing.
shot.
It explains a lot, you know, like golfers like.
Yeah.
It was on
No,
the. It was at least
it was-
on the
it was really well done.
Android marketplace. I don't know if you have an Android.
If they centered it around like South by Southwest and like a real fake launch, they could have trolled everyone.
Oh yeah.
It would have been awesome, like especially for the panel because like so many things were announced, and if they really like put the hype around it and stuff like that, it probably would have been funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was great. But like April Fools as a whole, it's like for me, it's like if you can do an actual joke thing, good for you. But nobody can do a joke anymore. Everyone like is just like, you know, they just blatantly lie about something. Like, oh, I fooled you, and it's like, no, now you're just a prick. Like, there's, I'm totally going here. I apologize if you're listening to this, but you pissed me off. So
there.
there was a guardian who is a very well-established guardian who went on Twitter today and was
no.
like, "I'm really sorry to say, I just found out I'm not going to be able to make it to RTX this year." And all these people are going, "Oh no, why?" And I'm like, "Look, I actually typed to one of them. I'm like, look at the calendar." I'm like, he's not serious, but it's like, it sent other people kind of into a panic. And I'm like, anything that could actually cause anybody to worry about something, or they're relying on you for something, fuck that. Fuck you for doing that. Like, that kind of shit pisses me off. I hate, like, if you want to do the joke privately with a couple people, that's fine. But I hate the people who go on Facebook, they're like, I'm pregnant, and they're not really, and that's their prank. Because you're on Facebook with a bunch of people, and there's a lot of people that genuinely would love to be in the position of being pregnant, and for you it's a joke, and it's like,
Oh
no,
my
go fuck
gosh.
yourself. That's not cool, don't do that.
No, you're absolutely right. Like
lot of
people like
vinegar
don't
there.
understand like. I mean, it's well founded, but it's like nobody like understands like how like there's no good jokes
Yeah.
anymore like out there
No-
with that kind of stuff.
nobody
It's
knows how
like
to do
it's
a joke.
not.
Well, I
It's
wouldn't
just like
say
they're given
nobody.
this platform to lie or make shit up or like do that shock value to generate buzz or views.
But
or
everyone
reaction,
knows
stuff
it's
like
fake.
That. There's
It's
no,
April
There's no
Fool's.
thought.
We
Well,
all know it's fake.
No,
not
some
all
people don't.
people. Like
Yeah,
I.
but that's
there's
Then
also
the
also-
whole
dumb
point of it,
people deserve
because
to
the
be
whole
fooled
point
and
of it-
freak out.
No, but here's
That's
the thing.
not
It's
true.
like, what
No,
if
it's
there's
not
somebody who
good to
actually
take-
has something important that, like, it sucks that it happened today. Like, they can't be like, oh, well, I have this really important thing I need to talk about, but I have to wait till tomorrow because
That's true.
everyone's going to automatically assume it's a joke. Like, it's impossible to have the correct filter. So it sucks that you can't actually have a serious conversation with anyone on April 1st.
Well, if they're your friends, they'll probably believe that you're serious.
But I think if they're your friends, you're less likely to believe that you're serious. Because that's the way it works. Like, that's why people go on Facebook and say,
So
I'm
Zelda,
pregnant.
so
No one
Zelda's
on
actually
Facebook is really
trolling
my
us,
friend.
and she really likes April Fools.
Oh, no, go fuck yourself, Chaos.
It's all based around generating buzz and stuff like that. It's all it's clickbait stuff like now. Like that's the whole point of it now. And the internet is really encapsulated
Yeah.
like that. So like whenever somebody posts a fake story, it's literally another clickbait tactic. and it loses authenticity. I love a good joke. I really do. I love the fake merchandise and stuff like that.
That's
and, like,
always awesome.
Whatever thing's like, oh my god, I would totally kickstart this thing, and then you're like, oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of funny, especially when they put like a full description or authenticity. When Rooster Teeth makes a fucking video about a fake ad, like there's like a substance there. It's not just a headline
Right.
and a call to action.
It's very
it's just
clearly
"Haha,
and
we fucked with you."
blatantly
Now,
a joke.
Hey, here's a link to all our other articles because you thought our joke was so funny.
Yeah.
It's a tactic that's lost its true meaning. I mean, think about it, April Fools back when you were in grade school, when there was no internet and stuff like that. Like, it would be like the media would hardly do something like that, but it would be big when they did that, and then it was just kids being cruel to one another. But
Yeah, it used
Yeah.
to be.
it's like it's not as authentic as it was, and it's weird to say that about a thing like fooling people, but it's lost that luster that it
Yeah.
had because so many people abuse it.
Like
Yeah.
the news report that did like the whole big segment on this year's pasta harvest, that was like from whatever year that was, forever ago, like that the news did. That's funny. That's
They put
good.
work into
When
that.
you're a kid and you do the thing where you like put a rubber band around the sprayer on the faucet in the kitchen and stuff, and somebody turns it on, like, that's fine, because like there's no, you might get grounded if you have a parent that doesn't have a good sense of humor, but it's
Things
like,
that don't cause
there's
a backlash.
no damage that can come from that. You don't have an impact on anyone beyond that exact moment.
I always had the hand buzzers, the gum that turned your like teeth black. And
Yeah.
actually, right now next to me, I have the giant whoopee cushion I bought at
Yeah.
RTX. The one we used to sync the
Oh,
video.
my girlfriend sat on
Yeah.
that.
I still have it.
Fiancé?
It still works too. It's not ripped or anything.
Faithless.
We got a bunch of, like, at work today, I came to my desk, and there was a bunch of, like, little dinky April Fool's things. Like, there was the fake, like, nose with the mustache. There was a paper balloon thingy. Like, it's just, like, it was, like, stupid. It didn't work. As soon as you blew into it, it popped. It was stupid. And then there was the snake in the can. And that was the most fun because it made, like, a meow sound. So, meow, when, like, whatever popped out. Like, it had a little whistle on it. But people were throughout the course of an 8-hour day. People were finally opening the thing, and then I just heard meow, 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 like everywhere. And we have like a pretty open office. Like there's no like private offices. There's like 3 or 4, but they're in the back. So it's a really open office. So I just like all day.
Did you just describe Ray's dream?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't cats. It was
It was cat noises.
people trying to launch these little snake things at each other. And it was great the first hour, and then it was just like, all right, guys. I gotta
In response, meow.
Have you ever seen those inflatable like shark
What?
balloon things that like you have a remote control and they're full of helium and they have these little motors
Oh,
on them
the
and they
blimps.
actually fly through the air.
nice.
The
I think
blimps
I
are
know
like
what
tiny
you're
like
talking about.
blimps.
That's awesome.
They're cool. It's like a perfect dad gift, like the drones or something like that. Like they put them in those magazines and dads go like, "Oh, I want to buy that for my kids," and they're entertained by it for like a day, and then you're like stuck with it. And it's stuck in your garage, and they slowly deflate, and now you're stuck with this thing that's electrically powered, and you're like, oh, no, I gotta throw it away, and that cost me $200. But somebody brought it into work today, and that was fun.
Use
and
it to deliver notes around the office.
yeah, that was one of the suggestions. Like, it should be like instead of people calling each other on their phones, like literally just somebody grabs that, sends a message or sends an email, or blah blah blah. It was fun for more than the snakes were.
And you got tired of them again?
I think the other side of the office was still entertained by it,
God.
so it lasted longer than the day.
Well, there you go. I got into work and I went to go to the restroom, and there's a sign on the door that
As
is
you do.
like it's just a piece of paper that somebody wrote on with like a highlighter that's like out of order. I'm like, haha, really funny. And I open the door and there's ladders and there's water dripping from the ceiling. I'm like, fuck, this isn't actually a joke. I had to walk to another building to go pee all day. I'm like, this is the
So-
worst April
somebody
Fool's
went-
ever.
Somebody went really
They,
far.
they,
for
they
you.
brought in all the stuff like early in the
Bullshit.
morning.
They put the sign, they put the thing, they broke the faucets. Like, this is gonna be hilarious.
I was like, well, shit. I was like, and it was funny because I talked to other people later, like, yeah, I thought it was a joke, and then I went in there, and now they blocked the door so that way you couldn't get in. They're like, no, seriously, actually broken. You have to go to the
It
other
would have been
building.
funny if you like interfered with their day and they were just like, "Whoa, get out of here!" And you're like, "I'm sorry," blah blah blah. And then like at some point, like you forgot again. You went back to that door, and there's just a sign that has your picture on it, and it says like, "No, block this person. She like came in and she ruined our work day and blah blah blah. She messed with the union. Like, we're gonna have to break your kneecaps if you come in again." That would have been a funny prank.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, I know both of you. Well, this group doesn't really know too much about, especially like League of Legends. But I think one of the best things, like the best people on April Fools, are video game companies. I have two good examples. The first one is in League of Legends. They released a new game mode which basically makes everyone overpowered and really, really quick. So usually something that would take like 5 minutes to do would then take like 1 second. And people were just going all crazy about that. And the intro screen changed from what it normally is to a manatee wearing a toga holding a golden spatula. It was so amazing. And separately, Mojang released a game mode which is like the love game mode. It's called Existence. Even though it's on hard difficulty, creepers will walk up to you and explode into roses. And you can't get hurt. And every time a creeper explodes, you get more hearts. Like, my health is going across the bar right now. I'm swimming in lava without any fire protection.
Oh, we should see if Board Game Online did
True,
anything.
that might be a thing too.
They did something.
Where did that game come from? Because you guys just started playing it. I played once. You guys killed me a million fucking times.
Nightsaw found it, didn't
like
you?
I didn't roll
Yeah,
for the
I
first
found it.
10 turns.
Yeah, I found it from a few other people I know online, and it's the best.
It
game.
is.
How long has it been around?
I think it's been around like maybe 1 or 2 years.
How would you describe that game? Like, I was for the podcast, I was trying to do a brief explanation of this, but how do you describe what it is?
It's a choose your own adventure board.
It's a
game
multiplayer
online.
choose your own adventure with random events, and you can screw each other over with
Yeah.
items.
With buckets.
I do like how you can screw each other over in between turns. So like I can get an item that just
A
like
grenade.
there's an electric sheep that goes
yeah.
forth and blows up
Or
something.
the,
Like, you know,
or the
A
cow.
good example
next
was I
course
was
of
in the
3
middle
times.
of shopping, and then someone set off a bomb as I was looking through the wares, and then all of a sudden my screen changed to, it appears that you died in the shop. Your body was dragged out of the shop, and you don't get to do that anymore.
In that game, I just immediately try to get to the jungle shop, buy weed, smoke it, just to get everyone else high. That's the funniest thing, because it makes your screen change all different colors.
Yeah, basically it's one of the best games to play if you're in a group like this, because you can just have random nonsense going on the entire game.
probably shouldn't play with.
True. When there's
at
multiple, the only
11
problem that
a.m.
game
11
runs into,
p.m.
if there's multiple people all trying to screw each other over, well, then you lead yourself in a loop.
Especially if
progress
someone
gets
gets a scroll of weaponizing.
Especially
Hey!
Ray.
What did I do?
Ray, how many times? All right. I mean, you wouldn't move, but you would kill us constantly. You and Hamburger would just like stab me. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't stab you. You're like
But it's
constantly
fun.
stabbing me.
You almost
Sure,
agreed
it's
with her.
fun
It is
shooting
fun.
Why can't I have
Unstabbable,
fun?
but I want to play the game. If I like, literally for the first hour, I couldn't play. I was just like,
you
"All right, I'm
didn't
dead
know
again.
how to play.
I'm dead again. I'm dead again." It's like, and then when I almost won, that was kind of cool. But it's like, yeah, it's
You
like
sound
that
like a
experience.
sore
You get that
loser.
experience when you have so many people.
No,
Hey,
that game
I
can
can
bring
finish
out
ahead
a
of
lot
you,
of
so I'm
salt because if a bunch of people are focusing like they were on Tejan on one person, that can get a little infuriating depending on the situation.
It's just like I hate games like that just like it ruins the experience for you because you just can't play. You came there to play, and now like you're just sitting there wasting time because you can't do anything. So it's like, why did I show up? I don't want to be that guy that leaves, but it's like I'm just sitting here now. So I literally sat there for like a half hour, just like
That
I
doesn't
finally have
happen
a
every
chance to
game.
look- oh, I'm sorry,
Sometimes
yeah.
you'll be in the front, and other
Not every
times you'll
game.
be like
It was just funny that game.
dying like 15 times at the start, and then suddenly get sent back to 0 again.
Yeah. But if it's happening fast, like if there's only like 5 people and you die like 5 times in a row, like okay, well at least I get to try and revive quick. But
Yeah,
like, with
it was
20,
an
like 20
8-person
people,
game when you joined
it's like,
or something at least.
There was 12 people in the game. Not 20. I keep saying 20, but I meant like there was definitely like 10 or 12
Yeah.
with like 2 randoms too.
Wait, that
And it would take like 25 minutes to get back to me.
that actually reminded me where I found the game. I was actually watching a stream where the streamer tried to have a sub stream doing that game, and it went on for 2 hours. They had 15 people in. The game went on for 2 hours. It came to the point where the streamer yelled,
Lord.
"If anyone kills the person in first, they're banned," because they just wanted the game to end.
Yeah, it just seems like not like it doesn't seem like a
could be
streaming fun
depending
game.
on them. Like if it was a small group playing, it's really fun and hilarious.
If it's a small group,
if you try to do
if you
any
try to
more
get
than like
people
5 or
into it.
6, that's when it becomes ridiculous and screwing each other over. But overall, Board Game Online is a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it seemed like fun when like I could actually do stuff. I'm like, sweet, now I can screw everybody else who's been screwing me over.
Yeah. It's especially fun when you get the random event of you find a gun on the ground, choose who to shoot. I love it. Gives
Shoot
you the
whoever the
choice
fuck
to
you want.
choose to shoot yourself.
Yeah, it's like I'm done with this. No, I like the first level like I got to. It's like you encounter the bank. What do you want to do? Do you want to go in? Do you want to try and steal something, or just leave? And I'm like, I'm gonna leave. And then I walk away, and then nothing happens. I'm like, oh, I thought there was like some strategical value to like not doing anything. So it's just like, so I basically just wasted
Yeah.
an item stuff.
Yeah, with the bank you can go
like,
in and take out.
Well,
life
maybe it's
insurance.
trap. Maybe it's
So
trap.
something is like for example the pyramid. I know this is a lot of stuff that wouldn't make as much sense to people, so we won't do too much. But yeah, doing that like going into the pyramid, it's a risky thing, but you could get rewards. So sometimes there's benefits to doing something or not.
Or you can die in the
That
first
too.
room. By the Pharaoh's curse.
But overall, it really depends on, like we were just saying, certain people know how to do it right, like I said, video game companies, and other people don't know quite the right sense of humor to use for April Fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's how we got on this topic.
So speaking of fools, did anybody see the latest episode of Red vs. Blue,
Yes.
the premiere of the season 13?
I'm so excited to talk about this because I laughed that entire episode because I'm sitting on the floor at the feet of everyone you saw in that episode.
So that's what you witnessed.
So that is what I witnessed and helped with the motion capture for all of episode 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fucking awesome. And it was really cool to see what I saw, to see them in their suits and doing their thing, and then see what it ended up looking like. But like I got to see the storyboard thing, and they had already recorded all the dialogue, so I'd heard all that, and I knew it was coming. So I just didn't know it was episode 1. I thought it was like 2 or 3. So when it started, I'm like, oh, I know what's happening.
So I have a quick question for you with these storyboards. Now, like what you saw there, was it like fully sketched out, or was it like through like animation or stuff like that, or like what did the storyboard kind of?
It
look
was
like?
so what they do for the motion capture is they get it sketched out, like rough sketches, and they essentially have it and they do the dialogue they need because they need to be able to match the motion capture like pacing to the pacing of the dialogue that's going to happen. And it's easier to do it in that order, to do the dialogue the way you want and then make the actions match it. So they essentially put together like they render it as a video clip, and you get the image and the dialogue happens, and anytime there's a scene switch, that's when the storyboard, the image changes. And so what they'll do is they'll say, okay, we're going to record, scene number blah blah blah, and we're going to do shot number X or whatever, and all those are burned into the video. And so you'd say, okay, make sure everybody was set, make sure the motion capture was started. You'd push play on this video, so that way everyone could either like see whatever visual cues they needed to, or somebody would call it out if they couldn't look at it. So I was calling out visual things, so it's like, okay, like Felix stood up, you know, and that was their cue to do something else and things like that.
So there's blatant like points you need to meet.
Yes.
And then is there a lot of improvisation?
There's a little bit. So I think every scene that I was there for, every shot that I was there for, I think we ended up with anywhere between 3 and 15 takes of it, because they would just be like, okay, well, like, let's try doing this, and like, let's try doing this with the pacing, and let's actually like try to exaggerate that movement. Let's see what it looks like when you like really go for it, and you know, like when what's his face comes up and it's like smacking the guy on the shoulder saying, oh, maybe it's some top secret you never saw us kind of shit. We did that over and over and over again, because it was like, you know, walk up to him, now kind of jog up to him and like punch him in the shoulder and kind of like smack him a little bit. Don't touch him at all. And so they did all these different variations just to kind of see what it would look like.
Now, what is the... Okay, so there has to be a director there. Now, like, is it like a coordinator? Is it a fight coordinator? Is there like... How does a director direct his actors in that kind of scene?
So, before I answer that, I'm going to say one thing. What is it? Zach saying no spoilers in the chat? Like,
we're not spoiling anything right now.
And even if we did, it's like, the episode's out publicly at this point. So, like, all bets are off. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Go watch it, Zach.
That's the rule, like, across the website, is after it's been live for, like, long enough for people to technically have seen it. So, like, give it 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It's like, nope, free game. So if you don't want to hear it, stop listening. So there's different people coordinating different things in there. So you've got your actual actors in there. And then the ones I was seeing, Miles is actually one of the actors, too. And so he had the suit on as well. And so we would...
I assume he just gets hit.
We would pull up the clip that was about to start. We'd pull that up on the storyboard, and everyone would listen to it and see what the motions were and see kind of what was going on and what the images were. And it's like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. And then you'd have someone in the corner with an actual like camera that was calling out the scene and shot number, starting their camera, and then they would start the motion capture. And so the motion capture guy would tell everyone what they need to do. They need to do their T pose, which is where they stand out with their arms straight out, so that way their software recognizes where all the limbs and parts are, because apparently this software, it's amazing. They can have multiple actors in the motion capture studio at a time, whereas before they couldn't. So now they can actually have people like interacting with each other. But it doesn't like ankles, and it doesn't like arms from the elbow down. So...
See, you think those are kind of like some of the most important pieces,
so
too.
we would constantly have to end takes for what was lovingly termed jank foot. Because like someone would be walking and all of a sudden their foot's backwards and like pointing up to their knee, and it's like it could not. It was really funny to watch. And there's also the alabaster spider, because all the character models are all in the motion capture software. They're all just like white, like general forms,
lines and balls.
Yeah, and they're not even lines and balls. They're actually like those wooden dolls that are supposed to be like the basic human form.
Oh yeah, like the ones
they
that
look
you
exactly. Yeah, they look exactly like that. But they're all white, and so the alabaster spider is when the software goes, I have no idea, and there's just like it's a ball of floating limbs with like a random leg sticking straight out the top, and like the head is glitching. No, I couldn't get a good picture of it.
Good luck, fuckers.
So somebody be like, oh, nope, we have to stop. We have alabaster spider. Oh, you have jank foot. We got to do it again. So it was really funny. I mean, it wasn't because everybody had to like reset. But, so yeah, you'd have one person calling out what scene and shot we were about to do. I was doing the storyboard call-outs for, like, action changes in direction and things like that. And then you've got the motion capture guy telling everybody when they can T-pose and when they can actually start and all that. So it's like 3 different people are all working together to coordinate the actual motion capture actors. And then Miles is there saying whether he was actually in the suit or not in the suit. He was saying, he's like, okay, this is exactly what's going on, like, visually, like, you can see it in the storyboard, but this is what we're actually kind of going for. And so he would give them some direction and watch them do it and say, okay, I liked that, but maybe we need to tweak this a little bit. Miles is really great about, even when people were recording dialogues, I got to see some dialogue recording going on, is like, he's not 100%, he's not overly committed to what he has written. So if it starts happening either visually or starts happening audio-wise, and he goes, that's not exactly how I imagined it. Let's try different things. And so he'll start changing dialogue or changing actions to see, it's like, what is actually going, now that it's all coming together, what does it need to do to actually be the best that it can be? And it's not like, he's not being like, nope, this is what I had decided on, this is what I wrote everything for, we have to do it this way, and you just gotta make it work. He's very open to trying to make everything work the way it should, and the way he would like to present it to everyone. He takes it really seriously, and it's really awesome.
it's funny with actors and directors. Like I've picked up over the years because I had a lot of film friends, and it's like some actors, like you would bring in like freelance actors to do like these student projects, and like some actors like demand the students to be like, you have to be like a director, you have to tell us exactly what to do. That's what we want. We don't want to improvise. Like, this is your vision, tell us what to do. We're here to help you. Like, and it's like inspiring and also like jarring at the same time. It's like, you know, like it puts a lot of pressure on those like kids and directors and like production crews. And then sometimes like it depends on the actor. Honestly, it's like some actors love improvisation, and like some directors are like crazy directional, and those actors don't like those directors. So it's like a really like interesting like trying to find that. Like I had a friend who his senior project, like he had a bunch of actors that really liked his very direct acting style, because they also liked the story. They read the story and they said, like, you have a vision for what you want. You really are trying to achieve this, and like it seems like you have a good idea. So I think they had like a good respect for his vision, and they were able to accomplish like a really good project. It's just it's interesting to see that kind of dynamic, especially like the way you're saying, like he seems very flexible and open, especially with I don't know like voice actors specifically, but it's just like it seems like a very fun atmosphere.
Yeah, it's one of those things that usually like he'd do the takes like, and he would give it a lot of direction to say this is what I want to try and do all that, and then at the end of that he'd be like, all right, we're gonna have 3 fucking takes, do whatever you want, and like so that's where like some of like the blooper and outtake things come from, and it's just people going, sure, okay, let's do that. Like I'm really hoping they animate some of the things with an Alabama because I just think that'd be really hilarious to see. But I imagine that'd be a pain in the ass to animate. But so he would just be like, yeah, just do stuff, whatever. But then there's some people like, because I got to sit in on some particular voice acting that was going on, and there's some people he'll be like, yeah, do it like this, and like give some kind of notes. And there's some people he like before it got started, he turned off the mic that went between the booth that we were sitting in and the actual sound booth, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna like warn you right now. He's not gonna listen to a word I say, and he's going to not actually read the script. He's gonna start with the script and then just say shit.
Is it Joel?
And I can neither confirm nor deny that it was Joel.
I was gonna say Jeff.
I mean, they say that in the commentary all the time. Like they say, like Joel goes off script all the time.
So he's like, so I had a copy of the script and I could like follow along what was going to be happening, so I could see some of the process. And sure enough, we were going for like we did like kind of the warm up, like getting the character phase, and it was like, okay, go 2 lines. Already off script. We're like saying all kinds of random shit, and I'm like I'm trying really hard to not laugh out loud because I don't want to f anything up. But I'm like crying. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, it was really funny. Yeah, so there's some people that'll just go off no matter what you say, and there's some people that he had to, he has to like coax and be like, all right, just like make some random noises, or like. Just, I mean, tell me your best knock joke.
If they're providing a good product, then, they know what they're doing.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was a really cool process to see everything. So I was really excited to see this episode come out. And there's episodes that are coming up that I'm excited to see for various reasons. So I can probably be kind of vague here. I think it's okay to say this. So I helped with motion capture. I helped with machinima.
Woo.
And then I believe it's episode 5 that I'm really excited for because there's all kinds of shit going on there. So hopefully, that'll be a week I'm on because I'll be on for the odd number things unless they do a PSA.
Saying,
shit.
You don't have to confirm anything, but if I hear your voice, I'm gonna be very happy.
Okay, that's
saying. You don't confirm anything. Don't say.
I will
anything,
never confirm anything. I can't confirm anything anyways because of NDA and all that stuff. But I can say.
Is your name Lozelda?
My name is Lozelda. Yes, I didn't sign any of the papers as Lozelda, so I can say that.
So randomly in RVB, there's going to be just a literal Zelda in the show.
That would be great.
Zelda walks by, Link runs by, makes his standard yell, and then.
That would.
I still think that's my funniest gag from the animated intro that you did because. You like hers when I said Lozelda and then that thing pops in, like that's the first time that happens. So I lost my shit when I saw that, like that little animated Lozelda pop in, and I lost my shit, and then like I died. I had to watch it again because I was laughing.
I still watch that from time to time. That's just funny.
It's so funny. Well done.
So I do want to say Jerome is asking in the chat, how do I get involved with working for them for that? Can you talk about it? I cannot talk about it now until after what I think is episode 5. After that, I can talk about it.
Yeah, don't worry
So
about it.
I'm just making it known. I want him to know I saw his question, so I will talk about it to the extent that I am allowed to, but I can't talk about it until that point. So, but I did get to see a lot of awesome stuff and help with a lot of awesome things, and
We shall wait on the edge of our seats.
yeah. So
I like how Tijin
I mean-
immediately thought Joel when you said someone went off script. I immediately thought
Well,
Jeff for some reason.
Jeff is already having enough trouble like keeping people together. I
It's-
think he's more like embodies Griff than that. I think like as you see like on the spot and stuff, Joel just likes to be Joel.
Yeah. Well, Jeff also just didn't participate at all. He sat there and drank whiskey.
True, that's true.
Well, no, he
Did you guys see him
Who?
on the patch today?
Yeah.
did not.
He was on the
Okay.
patch. It was great. It was Jeff, Michael, and Ryan. And I normally don't listen to the patch, but I just like randomly tuned in today. And it was those three. And they didn't talk about fucking video games. I only listened for like a half hour, but they just didn't fucking talk about video games in the patch. And I'm like, this is awesome. I would listen to
What
the
did they
patch
talk
more if it was
about?
like this.
And then Jeff and Michael aren't allowed.
They just talked about random shit. Like Jeff talked about his
So
daughter
basically,
and
he
sitting
turned
at
it
toothbed.
into what the RT podcast was when he was on.
He made it the AH podcast.
It had that vibe, but it was nice. It was good.
Oh yeah, Ryan's
I
awesome.
like Ryan. I like Michael a lot. So it was,
Right.
it was good.
I wish they do more of those Sunday driving things because that's the Achievement Hunter podcast. Did they?
They're releasing one this weekend. This weekend they are.
Yeah,
one.
they're
Okay.
Not, like this.
Yeah, this
past,
Sunday.
Like the one coming up. Jeff said it on.
So
our
the
loop.
first RTX I ever went to this place called the Jackalope. Me and Holly went there for
oh
dinner.
god, the jackalope!
And-
Jesus fucking Christ!
So we went there. It was on 6th Street, and literally right there in front of us are Michael and Lindsay and a group of people. And okay, we're not gonna like approach them. You know, we're not gonna be like that. Like they're already surrounded by a million people. And like I'm like the waitress like, puts us at a table, literally puts us at a table right next to them. And I'm just like, I don't want to like look up and be that guy that looks like he wants to talk. Like I'm like, no, they're having their private thing, and like they're surrounded by fans, and we're just gonna sit here and eat dinner. And the dinner was great, but it was like, but they were right in front of us, so like me and Holly couldn't like look straight ahead. We had to constantly like looking like.
Well, I mean,
it was
I
funny.
would.
So like that was literally the first experience. And they seemed fucking awesome. Like, it seemed incredibly
Yeah,
approachable,
that's
but I'm, like,
understandable.
super
I
introverted,
would
so
never
I would never do that.
fanboy over any of the people that I admire like that. But at the same time, I would walk over and get maybe a high five and a quick word or two, and then walk away.
I know we could have just said like, "Hey, quick picture," and they would have been like, "Absolutely yes." That would have been nice. Like, I know that would have happened, but I'm like, I'm still not going to
Yeah,
do it.
they are super nice like that. They will all like if you
Yeah.
if you stop them and you're like, "Can I take a picture?" They will always say yes.
Wasn't it
Even
Adam
like-
Ellis even? Or,
that was the thing that Michael and I we had a conversation about at one point because like we were trying to get somewhere. It was one of the rare times we had to go outside, and going outside was just a clusterfuck. And we go outside and somebody's like, can I get a quick picture? And I'm doing my PA job, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, we're on our way to this thing. You can catch him.
You can take a picture with me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm really sorry. And the kid looks really disappointed. Michael goes, nah, it's okay. And now I'm like, right now I look like a total asshole. And we get inside. I'm like, do you, where do you want the line to be? Like, do you want to just constant have veto override power? Like, how do you want this to go? He's like, yeah, I kind of feel like a dick after I did that. Like, I probably should have been like, no, PA said I gotta go. Like, he's like, I kind of felt bad. He's like, no, you ultimately have power. He's like, so if I do that again, you go, no, goddammit, we have to leave right now.
And that sounds like something he would say too.
Yeah. Michael's awesome. I loved working with him. I hope I get to do it again.
So we are reaching that hour mark. Is there anything you guys want to touch upon before we end?
We're gonna actually do another 24-hour stream. Didn't let you know, but it's just gonna
perfect.
be us all just kind of looking around, not saying anything.
Yeah, this is not April Fool's. This is kind of
Yep,
There's
it's
no
a
charity
big
involved. It's just
staring
literally
competition.
that. Like, just it's literally
Uh,
a very long staring competition. I'm really good. I've been training a lot recently. Like I've been able to stare with my eyes open for 6 hours straight.
As opposed to staring with
some
your eyes
people-
closed.
The enclosable eyes guy.
I stare with my eyes closed all the time. It's great.
Yeah, it's called sleeping.
Shush!
You're
Don't
cheating.
ruin the magic.
That's all. Anything to announce? Anything you're doing?
Well, I'm launching my YouTube channel next month.
What's it called?
Nightsaw videos.
Everybody, subscribe to Nightsaw Videos right now. Is it up for people to subscribe
Yeah,
to?
there's like 3 videos.
All right, go subscribe to that thing. And Chaos, are we actually
TFT
releasing anything
plays
soon?
wise,
TFT Plays wise?
we're doing a couple more of the live streams. We're also finished the Borderlands series, and gonna move on to a couple other ones. I'm not gonna say any of the other projects, but we do have a couple big projects that are finally like filmed and ready to be edited. So
I'm just gonna say, people, they're good. They're real good. Best thing we've ever done.
oh, okay.
No pressure. Ray. And Ray, you've recently doing the Vine.
Yes.
You've launched the Vine.
So
They're
now
very
you have
funny, like
another.
the-
You have
the,
another.
The one with
You have to
Bear,
have
with
yet
the
another thing you gotta
mascot.
add to your spiel
killer.
each time.
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing
Oh yeah,
that.
and we have a Tumblr and Instagram.
We also have a porn.
It was all Zach.
Who's in charge of the Instagram? What are we gonna
I
take
don't
pictures
know,
of?
maybe they'll be
Wait
like-
a minute. Wait a minute.
It's just,
What?
yeah, I
What's
guess
that,
it's like
Zelda?
get to know the people of TFT. Zach did it. I don't know.
But like, it's not gonna work because we're not all
To
like
be
around.
well,
one
to be
another. It's
fair,
just not
the
taking
Game
pictures
Grumps
of us
do
and
random
classes
stuff
and
with their
everything like that.
Instagram
It's
from time to time.
Yeah, but they're celebrities. Like, and they're
We
all
can show
together
each other
Yeah.
what
in the
we're
same
wearing
outfits,
every
like-
day.
That's what regular Instagram is for. And why the
Exactly.
fuck do we have a Tumblr?
I don't know. Zach did it. I'm just gonna post
Zach
pictures
really,
of cats.
really wanted a Tumblr.
I told him. He's like, "Okay, Ray, do it." I was like, "All right." That's how I got Vine too.
God.
The one
And,
time Zach's
and
not
Lo,
here to yell
are you
at.
streaming anything tomorrow?
I am tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming the end of Kirby and the Crystal Shards for the N64. I've got 13 left to
You're
get.
playing Crystal Shard?
Yeah, if you paid attention to my fucking
Oh,
Twitter
shit.
or my, or my streams, you would know that.
Hey,
All right,
Wub
I'm tuning
streams
in
tomorrow too. We have other people as well.
No, we'll adjust. Well, if
we
that's gonna happen,
confused
we'll adjust
don't do
it so
that.
that we
What is-
stream
what is this?
those on different days. Like,
And see, Wubs invites
Yeah,
me
so-
to join the call, so it's different.
You really, really want to hit on some birds.
yeah, we'll
that
talk
game
about
is
that
still
after.
Business
That's,
talk.
that's
We,
a good.
we can talk
point,
business
though.
after we're not streaming. But yeah, I'm
Alright.
going to be finishing Kirby and the Crystal Shards, and then Friday I actually have off of work. Apparently my workplace gives us Good Friday off. Didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is, and I'm going to be streaming a butt
Damn it.
ton on Friday because I'm going to be playing my favorite game of all time.
My dad's my boss. I wish he
that?
wish he was
You
an
have to tune in to
atheist.
find out. But it is another N64
awesome.
game that was apparently also released on the PlayStation.
Is it Donkey Kong
2.
64?
It is not on. It is not Donkey Kong 64.
See, I paid attention because I've seen your list.
Yeah, so if you've
So,
seen the
what
list,
games you're
it
playing?
is on the list. It is on the list.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
Ta-da.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching tonight. You can subscribe to us on Twitch to constantly follow all of our Twitch activities. You can follow us on Twitter at the forum thread and at TFT Plays. You can also find us on YouTube, TFT Productions, for all of our podcast videos. You can find TFT Plays video channel for all of our video game related stuff. You can find us on the roosterteeth.com website or cockbite.com. You should totally type that into your
I have to now. I gotta know what that is.
You can find the... listen, do not... Whatever you do, do not type in gay Snape kills straight Dumbledore or whatever. Straight Snape kills gay Dumbledore.com. Don't do that because you get a virus immediately.
Okay, well, I won't do that. I'm
where
glad you
was
said
I?
that because I was like, well, now I gotta look for that too. But cockbite.com,
Don't
not
do that
actually a
one.
thing. I'm a little disappointed.
Aw.
It's
I
really
thought they
not...
would
Like,
have.
they don't own
I thought
that
they would have
domain.
had it redirected or something.
Yeah, you would think, but
Anyway, so find us on roosterteeth.com. We have our original forum thread, the forum thread, very easy to find. And we also have our podcast group, the forum thread podcast group. So follow all of our news updates there. We have a website coming very soon. I'm working very hard on it. Theforumthread.com. There's nothing there now, but it'll be there someday. And Facebook. You think I would do Facebook first because that's kind of important. And a couple new things, Instagram and
Yo.
Vine. So
You
go
tweet it
find us
everywhere.
there. We're everywhere. We're all over it. And SoundCloud or something. I don't know. Whatever.
So,
And that's it.
yay.
That was fun.
Woo.
Thanks everybody for watching. Let's,
Hit the escape button.
flush sound. Edit in wait. Go listen to episode 100 of the podcast because Chaos Mana did an amazing job editing it. It's really funny. There's a lot of funny little bits that he added. It's really good, especially at the 1 hour mark and the 2 hour mark because there's surprise little video clips from some special guests.
I need to continue watching it. I pulled it up just because I wanted to see the intro, and I was like, oh my god, there's stuff actually happening. I have to actually watch this now.
Yeah, Chaos did a great job.
This is
Hey,
Wubs, I
adding
believe.
clapping sounds for yourself. Who's editing this? Wubwave?
Clapping. There you go.
Wubwave. Directive. Add clapping.
All right, eject.
Thanks
Out!
everybody for watching. We're
Dun, dun,
done.
dun, dun, dun.
Evacuate.